should warn you, in case you did not already know. Dragons and giants have a long-standing rivalry that verges on hatred, depending on the parties involved. Storm giants are known as goodly, if stern, creatures, but regardless of this one's disposition, it might be for the best if you do not mention my presence or involvement.
Something else to complicate things. That's good to know. Thanks.
Ascended beyond the restrictions of their body, it seems. They aren't just controlling the storm around us. They are the storm. It is a part of them. Be careful.
Speak now and tell me your purpose in coming here, lest I blast you off the side of the mountain.
She is quite guarded and wary of you, but contrary to her words, she does not seem to want to harm you, though is certainly willing to if you threaten her.
Do you know a druid named Myaston Kimmerin?
No. Should I?
You see recognition flicker across her broad features at Kimmerin's name, but can also tell that the subject has made her even more guarded.
Do you know of any other storm giants in the area?
No. I live separate from my people.
Why are you lying to me?
Dare accuse me of lying?
I can read it on your face. You're even more tense after I mentioned him.
And for good reason. What business have you with Kimmerin of Clan Myaston?
My friend has been infested with a parasite that has also displaced his soul. We were told by the Sage of Magic at Candlekeep that his best hope is to find the Rod of Alignment, which was last seen with Kimmerin.
And what if I refuse to help? What will you do?
I got nothing. We are at your mercy.
Humble and sincere. That is promising. This is a powerful item that you seek, and not something to be handed over lightly. Though perhaps you will do. Very well. I indeed possess the rod, and am willing to part with it in return for a favor. The druid who last held the rod is indeed a friend of mine. Kimmerin, however, has a tendency to use force to protect the wilderness and its creatures, rather than negotiate. The Lord's Alliance decided that they had suffered his vigilantism long enough, and have imprisoned him in the great fortress they built nearby, known as Revel's End. I cannot enter that bastion, as its magic wards me away. If you want the rod, then you must find a way to free Kimmerin. Once he is with me again, the rod will be yours.
She holds every card and could betray the deal once she has what she wants, but her demeanor inclines you to think that she is sincere.
Will Kimmerin be dangerous to me?
Only if you give him reason to think that you mean harm to either him or the wilderness. Otherwise, he is...
I am not thrilled about the idea of freeing a criminal, but if it is what I must do...
It is the only condition I will agree to. You will do this thing. A last warning to you. Beware the prison, for it is not just a trapped and warded fortress. Something has changed lately. I have not seen the guards at their outposts for nearly a week, and there is now a ferocious flying creature there. Every time I've tried to approach since its appearance, it has beaten me back, rather severely at one point. I do not know if the jailers have summoned it as an additional guardian, or whether it is there for other reasons. But be wary of a dark creature with bat-like wings. Good luck.
That is all a rather tall order, and none of it too encouraging. At this point, the best we can do is probably to investigate the prison, see if we can identify some of its defenses and any gaps therein. No sign of that creature that Nalkra warned us about. Can you discern anything noteworthy?
It doesn't look like a place you can exactly break into. Not without...
As much as I hate to admit it, I am inclined to agree. Perhaps we can strike a deal with whoever runs the prison. Barring that, simply seeing the inside might give us some ideas about how to get Kimmerin out. Still no guards? You would think that someone would have stopped or questioned us by now. I do not like the feel of this. Make sure that the front door stays open and unlocked, too. I do not wish to be trapped in here. See what you can find through that hole. There might be another passage or something similar. Something to lead us out of here. That looks like it connects to the door in the entryway, and judging by these notes, most of the rest of the prison, too. It seems to be a full containment and lockdown system. Everything is barred and sealed. Perhaps there's been a prison riot or some revolt. Messy as that may be, it could provide a good distraction for getting inside and extracting Kimmerin. There. Now let us get back into the open and hope that we have not released all of the prisoners or endangered the guards. That would...
What was that? Oh, what are these things?
Demons? What are demons doing in a prison? Devils and now demons. Encountering both in such a relatively short time is seldom a good sign. Either you are cursed with rotten luck or something is brewing. Unless Rebel's End is taken to enlisting monsters from the abyss as guards, something has gone thoroughly awry. This is becoming increasingly distressing.
Do you think that Kimmerin has anything to do with them being here?
I doubt it. Unless Kimmerin were presented with a too tempting opportunity, was consumed by vengeance, or had simply gone mad, he would not risk summoning demons. They would do as much damage to his precious wilderness as any human host would, polluting and tainting the land with their very presence.
How worried should I be about this?
Very. If there are this many demons in one room, then there are likely to be others. They were likely summoned and then broke free from their summoner. If the summoner was particularly careless, they may have left a portal open, through which more demons and demonic spirits could enter our world. Unfortunately, I think that the lockdown we just lifted may have been the only thing keeping them here in the prison.
Any advice going into this?
Yes. Don't die, and get out as quickly as you can.
Helpful.
As we go, look for evidence of a cult like the one we found near Candlekeep. If we find who or whatever created the portal, we may in turn discover a way to collapse it. Those must have been the guards. Either there is a spellcaster nearby animating them, or they've been possessed by demonic spirits. I do not see evidence of the warden, nor anyone else. He likely took the keys with him, but you might still want to search this room. See what you can find.
As you are lifting up the rug, you hear a faint click just before a spray of dart shoots from the ceiling into your back. Even as you feel the poison entering your bloodstream, you are left with one burning question. Who in Faerun traps their rug? You find a journal bound in plain, cheap leather, and, while you're at it, you find a small pouch of gold nestled into the back of a drawer. You're guessing the warden won't be needing this anytime soon.
That looks like it was probably the warden. Their body is no longer their own. No choice, no movement, not commanded by something else. A puppet. Nothing to be done, no helping them, nothing. Have to break him. That is all. Just break what is left. Break the shell. Break the puppet, and it will be over. There. Good work.
But that was distracting. If you're going to freak out, then do it quietly. Your blabbering could have gotten me killed.
Right.
Sorry, that was uncalled for. I know this is disturbing for you. I'm just stressed after fighting that thing.
I understand. I will try to control myself better in the future.
That seemed to really affect you. Do you want to talk about what just happened?
This is too familiar. Like what happened in my cave, the close spaces, being unable to do anything, having to watch everything around me without the power to influence it. Then seeing someone else whose body has been stolen from them and turned into a marionette for someone else's amusement or cruel deeds, while I am forced to feel you break what is left of them. And I see me in my body instead of a skeleton, and it just makes everything... I feel everything that you feel, and see everything that you see in a physical sense, but my emotions are still my own. And they color. I see them differently in that way. And I cannot control how those experiences affect me, and that in itself makes it worse. The lack of control, that is. Feeling even more helpless, and all the more weak and pathetic because of it. It spirals into panic, or becomes a dark pit that I lose myself in, and it does not stop. Even after whatever we have done ends, I still feel it. For a long time afterward, minutes, hours, pretending to be fine, even speaking normally, is exhausting in a way that should not apply to someone without a body.
I'm sorry. That's a lot. I knew you were feeling strained, but I hadn't realized it was that powerful. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
Thank you, but do not be sorry. I do not mean this to sound ungrateful, but it feels more like pity than sympathy, even if my mind knows otherwise. Perhaps it is best we move on. Keys. Find the keys.
You sift through the shards of bone and scraps of torn clothes and armor until you hear a jangle. You retrieve a ring of keys, each of which is inscribed with runes and magic formulae. You would never have...
Oh, the jingling of keys. Now that is a welcome sound. Certainly better than listening to screaming demons, anyhow. And who might you be? I see no uniform. You don't look like a demon to me.
My name's Katra. I'm here to get you out.
Are you now? Well, that's nice, but I find it hard to believe. Very well. My name is Mayastan Kimmerin. What do you want with me exactly?
Nalkra sent me to free you.
Oh, finally. She said she would figure something out, but I'd given up on her once the demons appeared.
Will these keys get you out?
Why, yes, they will. Glad to see someone thinking ahead. That being said, I won't be going anywhere while that portal's still open, so you'll have to go find my magic focus, too.
How did the portal open in the first place?
I haven't the faintest. Perhaps one of the guards was secretly a demon worshipper and agreed to let his friends in. Maybe someone just got careless with some other ritual, or were tricked into enacting the wrong one. Maybe someone sneaked in. Trust me, I've been scratching my head over this since it all started.
How are you and some of the other prisoners still alive? Wouldn't the demons have torn you apart by now?
Oh, trust me, they've tried. Multiple times. However, these cells are reinforced magically on the outside, and have constantly active anti-magic fields on the inside. Demons cannot teleport in, or shoot fire, or whatever at us, nor can they rip the doors off. Ironically enough, these cells are the safest places in the entire building, so far as I can tell. It'd be relaxing if I didn't have to listen to the occasional blood-curdling, inhuman shriek echoing through the halls.
That wasn't part of the deal. I'm just here to get you out, and if I go even deeper into danger, then there's a good chance I won't come back alive to bring you outside.
Call it an addendum to your deal, then. Look, even if you let me out right now, I haven't eaten in nearly a week. No guards to... I've only had the little water I could get from the snow on my windowsill, so I'll be useless without my magic. Also, I refuse to leave a portal into the abyss open like a welcome mat to the material plane. Left alone, this thing could let through something truly horrific. Maybe someone would be able to take care of it eventually, but not before demons laid waste to forests and cities alike. Neither of us want that.
And what if I force you to come back with me to the Storm Giant?
Then I would be fighting you, kicking and screaming the whole way. Probably get a lot of attention from monsters and bandits that way. Doubt Nalkra would be happy with you either.
I'll be back soon.
Okay, I'll be here.
Vaer, we haven't been using your magic site as much, but I haven't seen any evidence of a cult or any other religious or magical activity, aside from what's needed to keep this place running.
Oh, yes, strange.
Vaer,
Just get us out of this prison.
Oh, my focus! Excellent! Have you cleared the path to the portal?
I think so.
Oh, you even took care of that big, bat-like thing? That one looked particularly menacing. If I'm being entirely honest, I nearly peed myself when it stopped by to try to get into my cell.
I'm sorry, the what?
Oh...
Nalkra mentioned some sort of flying monster before we came, but we haven't seen it yet. Do you think...
Oh yes, I saw it just yesterday. If it hadn't flown off by then, something must be keeping it here. My guess is it's feeding off whatever energy's coming out of the portal. Or perhaps the lesser demons coming through, treating the portal like a fishing hole. Well, if that thing's still hanging around, then it will probably rip me to shreds the moment I try to seal the portal. I'll find a place to hide, or maybe just stay in this cozy and very safe cell until it's dead or driven off. Once you've done that, I'll close the portal and we can get out of this place. I would guess it probably perches, somewhere up high. Might want to start searching the upper levels.
I've never actually been up quite this high. Is this what it's like for you? Viewing the world from above while flying? Everything spread out so endlessly.
It was.
Any chance those specks are dangerous or harming anything in the area?
What a lucky day this is. The two souls have come to be packaged into the same body. I was getting hungry.
It can sense me?
And hear you. Yes, I must say that it is a delight to encounter a soul as rich and potent as yours, noble worm. I cannot say that in all of my centuries I have ever consumed any of your kind who were older than mere adolescents. Young and tender, yes. But their souls do not have the potency that yours does. And all of this without contending with your fiery breath or iron-hard scales. Oh, you are most generous in coming here so exposed.
The monster seems to be almost shivering in anticipation as it flexes its claws and bares its teeth. You get the sense that you might only have time for one question before the thing's patience runs out.
You said that the material coming out of the portal won't harm anything yet. What does that mean?
Oh, there is just too little of the abyss coming through at the moment. This tower is a nice incubator, if you will. But my home's influence cannot stretch much beyond it. Luckily for you, you will not have to face your deity's judgment when I am done with you. Death will be the true end. Once I devour your souls. Not even a shred of you shall remain in this universe. destroy my body here. I will simply reform in the abyss. And when I do, and when my master carves a path into this world, nothing will stop me from hunting you down. Your souls will be mine in the end.
Well, that just happened. Let's head back to Kimmerin.
As much as your presence brightens up this
Oh,
place,
well,
I'd really
that
rather
was
be out
downright
of here.
unsettling.
Hurry it up, still. The deed is done. However, I fear that what magic I could work here today was limited and will only be a temporary solution. Once I have some rest, though, I can return and enact something more permanent.
What about the other people still in the prison? It will be some time before more guards appear to help them.
Oh, I plan to free them all. I cannot abide by anything being trapped against its will. If these prisoners prove to still be dangerous to others, though, well, then it will be my responsibility to find and eliminate them.
What about the crimes that they have already committed? They haven't finished their sentences.
Not my problem, and I don't really care about such strict laws. Way I see it, just being stuck in here was punishment enough. If they break the rules again, though, then someone will put them down. Might be me.
How can you trust them to not do whatever it was that put them in here to begin with?
Hopefully, they've learned from their mistakes by now. That being said, I will also make it very clear what will happen if they cause too much trouble.
Are you ready to go back to Nalkra now?
Oh, once I've had a bite to eat, sure. There must be something around here that hasn't rotted or been gnawed on by demons. As soon as I'm rested, though, I'll turn into an air elemental or a snowy owl. Something. Fly to Nalkra's cave. I'll be there long before you.
Stay safe, then. Would have hated to go to all this trouble just for you to get eaten by a crag cat or something on the way back.
Yeah, well, the benefit of being a druid is that I can always turn into one of them if they try. Maybe insult their mother to get them to back off. You wouldn't guess it, but they're surprisingly touchy about their mom's crag cats. Never you worry. I'll see you there.
You have returned. Good. I can now say to your face that I do not enjoy being deceived, dragon.
I was afraid of this. Be careful.
How did you find out?
I did a bit of divination while we were waiting for you. I had to make sure that the Rod of Alignment was going to someone trustworthy. Or, well, you withheld pretty important information, so maybe not someone trustworthy, so much as not going to turn the rod toward destruction or the undoing of everything good in our world. We figured out what you would want the rod for, and personally, I fully support your desire to return to your natural form, especially if it means unearthing whatever your attackers are planning.
And what about after the dragon is returned to its form? Can we trust them with it then?
I'd hope so. If not, though, we can always take it back. Either way, can't condemn someone for something they haven't done yet, right? Give it to them with my blessing.
Fine. But if you can hear me, dragon, I do this not for your sake. I do it for the child. They do not deserve to have their thoughts constantly invaded, and should be able to live their life without someone constantly whispering in their ear. A person's mind is meant to be their refuge and safe haven, even when nowhere else is. Besides, there is something about you, child. A sense of impending significance, for lack of a better term. I have been in this world long enough to trust my intuition, and it tells me to keep an eye on you. Regardless of what happens to the dragon, I will be curious to know your doings. Now go, hunt your quarry, and remember that the rod is not all-powerful. You must weaken your target first if it is a living thing. You have
Any idea where we might find the creatures that stole Vaer's body?
I tried scrying them too, but their lair seems to be protected from such spying. Sorry.
I may have an idea, though.
We'll take any advice you can offer.
Speak with the dwarves of Kelvin's Cairn. I have overheard their conversations whilst traveling as a storm. They speak of their kin in Mithril Hall facing a mysterious crisis, though I could not learn any details. Still, their troubles and yours could be related. If so, they may provide direction and help against a common foe.
It is as good a start as any. These foes are unnatural to our world, so they are bound to make disturbances that we might be able to follow.
Well, it's a start at least. Thank you both for your help.
Happy hunting!
A stranger? Welcome to Kelvin's Cairn, true home of the legendary Brunner Battlehammer himself. And who might you be?
My name is Katra, and I'm looking for a group of people and monsters. Have you heard anything about anyone working with chalky-skinned creatures that have bones and spines poking out of their flesh? Maybe a wizard in a mask?
Don't know about any wizard and haven't seen any monsters like that about, but we have had some tales from our kin down south in Mithril Hall. Just rumors, mind you. Before the trading caravans from our cousins stopped coming due to the blizzards, they had some stranger things to say. They were all over the place with the tales, but the consistencies between them told how civilians were losing their minds. There's been sabotage, murder, and people just up and disappearing, or trying to go into the deeper caves where they had no business being. Oh, and some people had talked about glimpsing a new small folk, they think, down in the Underdark. Just saw small, pale, white humanoids with grinning teeth and yellow eyes.
At the risk of jumping to conclusions, that sounds at least similar to what you witnessed in your home. Not to mention that the small folks she mentioned sound like the star spawn grue we have encountered.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look at least. Thank you for the information. We'll get out of your hair and—
Boss, we're under attack! Some creepy pale things with spikes coming out of them! They're swarming our guard posts!
Friends of yours? You could say something like that.
They must have finally tracked us down. I knew they would eventually come for my soul as well as my body.
How many are there, and how didn't we see them coming? The scouts asleep?
The scouts didn't even have a chance to see them! The things just appeared right in the tunnels, behind one of our sentry posts! I think something teleported them here!
Get the workers and civilians into the deeper tunnels, and call up the rest of the garrison. You follow them to the shelters until this is cleared up.
I think they might be here for me. It's only right if I help repel them.
Your funeral, kid. Follow me.
They're after a human!
Oh, I think that's all of them.
Indeed, but we have not seen the star spawn anywhere else in the Dale. If they were transported specifically here, then that implies that they were coming for us.
How do you figure? They could have attacked us any time.
Maybe not. No one saw you in my cave when the cultists attacked me. It could be that they did not know who had my soul after losing the coin that held it. If they had known that you carried my soul, then that wizard in the mask would have either killed or captured you to take it back when you found us in Wizard Adro's tower.
So they've somehow figured it out since then, and have some way to find or at least track us.
That would seem to be the case. We should leave. If more pursue us, I do not want innocents caught in the fighting.
Vaer? That actually sounded rather generous and thoughtful. Downright altruistic, actually.
Just get us to Mithril Hall quickly. If we stay in one spot too long, it will make it all the easier for the enemy to attack us. We do not know what their capabilities are. For all we know, this invasion was either the entirety of their force, or but a tiny fraction of their army.
Good point. Yeah, we should go.
Need a lift?
The journey out of Icewind Dale is slow and treacherous, the snow hindering your progress with yetis taking advantage of your predicament. Still, after repelling a few raids, you manage to round the spine of the world, feeling the fresh, warmer breezes rising from the south as you turn east and skirt the foothills as you make for Mithril Hall. You keep the fetid, troll-infested swamps of the Evermoors to your right as you near your destination, climbing the last slope in the mountain shadow and passing through the dwarven city's main gates, hoping to find the lair of the Starspawn.